Welcome to the Transitions Daily podcast. Transitions Daily is an online recovery group that offers a daily distribution of popular recovery resources accompanied by a secret Facebook group for discussion. We hope you enjoy today's readings.
This is Transitions Daily for September 30th, read by Sarah M. from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, USA. AA Thoughts for the Day. Consequences. In some circumstances, we have gone out deliberately to get drunk, feeling ourselves justified by nervousness, anger, worry, depression, jealousy, or the like. But even in this type of beginning, we are obliged to admit that our justification for a spree was insanely insufficient in the light of what always happened. We now see that when we began to drink deliberately, instead of casually, there was little serious or effective thought during the period of premeditation of what the terrific consequences might be. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 37. Thought to consider. Think it over, not drink it over. AA acronyms. DEAD. Drinking ends all dreams. Just for today. Traits in common. Step 12. Having had a spiritual awakening as the result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. But not so with alcoholics. When AA was quite young, a number of eminent psychologists and doctors made an exhaustive study of a good-sized group of so-called problem drinkers. The doctors weren't trying to find out how different we were from one another. They sought to find whatever personality traits, if any, this group of alcoholics had in common. They finally came up with a conclusion that shocked the AA members of that time. These distinguished men had the nerve to say that most of the alcoholics under investigation were still childish, emotionally sensitive, and grandiose. How we alcoholics did resent that verdict. We would not believe that our adult dreams were often truly childish. And considering the rough deal life had given us, we felt it perfectly natural that we were sensitive. As to our grandiose behavior, we insisted that we had been possessed of nothing but a high and legitimate ambition to win the battle of life. 12 Steps in 12 Traditions, pages 122-123. Daily Reflections. The Circle and the Triangle. The circle stands for the whole world of AA, and the triangle stands for AA's 3 legacies of recovery, unity, and service. Within our wonderful new world, we have found freedom from our fatal obsession. AA Comes of Age, page 139. Early in my AA life, I became employed in its services, and I found the explanation of our society's logo to be very appropriate. First, a circle of love and service with a well-balanced triangle inside, the base of which represents our recovery through the 12 steps. Then, the other 2 sides, representing unity and service respectively. The 3 sides of the triangle are equal. As I grew in AA, I soon identified myself with the symbol. I am the circle, and the sides of the triangle represent 3 aspects of my personality: physical, emotional sanity, spirituality, the latter forming the symbol's base. Taken together, all 3 aspects of my personality translate into a sober and happy life. As Bill sees it, compelling love. The life of each AA and of each group is built around our 12 steps and 12 traditions. We know that the penalty for extensive disobedience to these principles is death for the individual and dissolution for the group. But an even greater force for AA's unity is our compelling love for our fellow members and for our principles. 12 Concepts, page 10. You might think that the people at AA's headquarters in New York would surely have to have some personal authority, but long ago, trustees and secretaries alike found they could do no more than make very mild suggestions to the AA groups. They even had to coin a couple of sentences which still go into half the letters they write. Of course, you are at perfect liberty to handle this matter any way you please, but the majority experience in AA does seem to suggest, end quote. AA World Headquarters is not a giver of orders. It is, instead, our largest transmitter of the lessons of experience. 12 and 12, page 173 to 174. Big Book Quote. In this book you read again and again that faith did for us what we could not do for ourselves. We hope you are convinced now that God can remove whatever self-will has blocked you off from Him. If you have already made a decision and an inventory of your grosser handicaps, you have made a good beginning. That being so, you have swallowed and digested some big chunks of truth about yourself. Alcoholics Anonymous 4th edition, How It Works, page 70. 24 hours a day. AA thought for the day. There are no leaders in AA except as they volunteer to accept responsibility. The work of carrying on AA, leading group meetings, serving on committees, speaking before other groups, doing 12th step work, spreading AA among the alcoholics of the community, all these things are done on a volunteer basis. If I don't volunteer to do something concrete for AA, the movement is much less effective. I must do my fair share to carry the load. AA depends on all its members to keep it alive and to keep it growing. Am I doing my share for AA? Meditation for the day. When you look to God for strength to face responsibility and are quiet before Him, His healing touch causes the divine quiet to flow into your very being. When in weakness you cry to God, His touch brings healing, the renewal of your courage, and the power to meet every situation and be victorious. When you faint by the way, or are distracted by feelings of inferiority, then rely on the touch of God's Spirit to support you on your way. Then arise and go forth with confidence. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may lay myself open today to the healing touch of God. I pray that I may not falter or faint by the wayside, but renew my courage through prayer. Hazelden Foundation, P.O. Box 176, Center City, Minnesota, 55012. My name is Sarah, and I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic.
We hope you enjoyed today's readings. You can also receive Transitions Daily via email and discuss today's readings in our secret Facebook group. So for more information, go to dailyaaemails.com today.
Other than the 24 hours a day reading, unless otherwise specified, all quotes copyright Alcoholics Anonymous World Services, Inc., 1952, 1957, 1967, 1973, 1975, 1976, 1980, 1981, 1984, 1985, 1988, 1990, or 2001.